All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call and good afternoon. If you are in the East Coast, good morning, almost afternoon. If you're on the West, I'm going to put in the link for listingstoleads.com. Go ahead and sign in. A second screen, that'd be awesome. Kashif, how you doing, my man? Good to see you. So if you want to log in our webinars, we actually do stuff. So this is not a sales webinar. This is not something that's going to give you a bunch more work to do, although you will get some extra work to do. If you want to generate buyers and sellers, Anna from Naples, awesome. I love Naples, Florida. Beautiful, beautiful area. I'm also going to give you the link to, we did a PDF of an interview that I did here with a client. And Brent, awesome. Good to see you. Brent says good morning. So I assume he's on the West Coast in California, most likely. And so this landing page right here, go ahead, you can fill it out and you're going to get the PDF. And it is the PDF of the interview I did with one of our clients, Fabrice here, who did 16 listings in 2 weeks. 5 were expired, 11 were regular standard listings. Arizona. Oh, yeah, Brent. Okay, awesome. Yeah. I went to graduate school in Arizona. I love Arizona. I love almost every state in the country, to be honest with you. Michigan, Ohio, Florida, Virginia, Arizona, Oregon, right? We got a beautiful country, a lot of great places around it. Yeah, there's something in every state. I live in Northern California. I mean, I love Northern California the best. I get why some people don't, but it's a crazy state. But what am I going to do? Well, like I said, I love Florida. I lived in Sarasota for a couple of years. Went to graduate school in Arizona, from Michigan. So I've been all over this beautiful country. And today we're going to be talking about marketing listings, because whether they're yours or borrowed. And one of the things here that Fabrice is doing, and I'm going to speak to it today, and I'm going to kind of intertwine it with what we're doing. But I want you to be thinking about listings are to a real estate agent. If you think about selling, okay? So when you've got a jeweler, a bakery, a car dealership, what do they all do? Right? What do they all do? They show their audience beautiful things about their product. So the jeweler might show beautiful rings or beautiful necklaces or beautiful bracelets or something. A bakery, right? What do? They put in the window beautiful baguettes, beautiful rolls, beautiful sandwiches, right? Beautiful bread. The car dealership will put in the front of the lot beautiful cars, great cars to entice people to come in. And Fabrice was using that same logic with listings. And one of the really cool things that he was doing was, and it may sound a little bit interesting, odd, counterintuitive to a lot of people, but he would market 3 listings a week with kind of an abbreviated version of the Listings to Leads marketing set for the listings. And he would borrow sometimes 1, 2 listings a week as needed, just so he would have 3 that he could promote to his audience in the same way a jeweler promotes jewelry, a baker promotes their baked goods, a car dealership promotes the cars, right? So he is using listings to engage his audience, to attract an audience, all right, to generate leads, to engage the leads. And so I want you to be thinking about that as we go through the call today, where you may have a listing, all right? You may have a couple of listings. You may have 10 listings, but you still want to be thinking about marketing listings that fit your brand, that fit your audience. So it's not like, hey, I'm just going to go find a random listing that's for sale and send it out. All right. And again, this is completely different from a your IDX, your MLS listing update that goes out to people that are on a search. This is very different from that. All right. That kind of a thing with from your IDX or from your MLS, those are just like the newspaper fillers that go out in the mail that people throw away. I mean, they're good. They're you want to use them for the people that are looking for a particular listing in a particular area. But a lot of people just like to look at really great real estate. And so for Brees, he's in Miami. He would find great listings, whether it was a view or great interior. And all of us can do that no matter where we live. All right. Maybe do a high-end listing once a week. You do the best deal of the week once a week. You do something with a phenomenal kitchen or a great backyard, and you use listings to entice people. So as we go through this today, I'm going to kind of be referencing what Fabrice was doing. And if you have any questions on that, let me know as we go through the call today. Oh yeah, because I thought I heard a question from you somewhere, and that was it. Yes, when you go to print, and we are fixing this for default, but when you go to print it, uh, do print or do fit to paper, I believe. So when you're in the printer, or when you're going to print the 100-point home marketing plan, use the print or fit to paper, I believe. So your paper is going to be right 8.5 by 11 or letter, whatever it is. So in the printing settings, when you go to print, just select the option. I believe it's fit to paper, something like you'll see that when you're going to print. Okay, doke. Try that. Do print one page, see if that worked, and then if it did, just print all of them. All right. I know in the printing there's a few options. If we have a chance, I'll take a look at that today. Okay, doke. I am going to put this into the. And Brent says, I've turned selecting the listing to advertise on L2L and do a science project. Oh, let me scroll back up. I missed that. There we go. Let me see here what we got. I've turned selecting a listing to advertise on L2L into a science project. Unicorns hit best. Unusual. Yeah, exactly. Right. Brent, absolutely perfect. Right. This is not where, like I said, and I referenced this, but you said it a little bit more succinctly, which is, when we think about the three, Fabrice is doing three, so I'm going to refer to three. When you pick the three listings every week, yeah, we're not doing cookie cutter. We're not doing average listings. We're doing something interesting. All right. Maybe it's got a 10-acre lot in an area where 10-acre lots aren't normal. Maybe, like I said, it's got a unusual kitchen, an unusual backyard. It's got a gorgeous outdoor kitchen or something like that. And one of the things we'll talk about today are rearranging the photos. That's very important. So that as you send out the e-flyer, whatever it is that that attracted you to that listing will show up in the e-flyer. Okie doke. So Brent, dude, that's I'd love to hear more about that in the mastermind group. I'd love to see you get in the mastermind group, Brent, and maybe post a little bit about that, because that's exactly right. Unusual properties, non-cookie cutter. And I mean, Brent says it works for him, but I think that's the exact same idea that would work for everybody. Now, if it's a cookie cutter new construction with a great, builder incentive, or something like that, great. Or if it's in a brand new community that you've never marketed before, you can do that. But again, we want to make sure that we're not boring our audience to death, right? Does that make sense? Because again, so many people, especially, and it's always kind of funny when people get into real estate and they go, yeah, I love looking at homes. Well, that's not what being a real estate agent is all about. But okay, that's cool. But a lot of people love looking at homes. And if you can, pick and be, to Brent's point, almost like a scientist, right? Now, not a scientist. We're going to spend 3 hours figuring this out. But, I'm sure as a real estate agent, you're always looking at the new listings coming through. And so just as you see new listings and you're looking at them and something really catches your eye about that listing, call the agent up. Fabrice talks about this in the interview. He'll call the listing agent up, ask if he can market that listing to his audience, and he'll do an ad, a post, a short form video using our short form video script. He sends the e-flyer to his database. He copies it from Listings to Leads, drops it into Go High Level, his CRM. He does some database calls with it. For his listings, he's using the nearby homeowner letter to 200 to 300 homes around that property. And he's pinged me a few times since the interview we had a week and a half ago. And he's like, I got another listing. I got another listing. I got another listing. All right. I know one of them wasn't expired. One was from the nearby homeowner letter. So yeah, absolutely awesome. A lot of good stuff. If you're watching the recording, I am at listingstoleads.com/listings. And what this is here is this is a jump page. And as you can see, coming soon, just listed, active, and open house. We are going to walk through today how to market listings, yours, borrowed, up to 3 a week. Promote your brand. That's a big one. And that's one of the things Fabrice actually even said. He goes, promoting 3 listings a week really helps me stay in front of people. And it promotes my brand like crazy because people, especially sellers, but buyers too, who do they want to work with? They want to work with people that they see as successful. And the cool thing is, even when you borrow a listing to market, nobody knows. No layperson knows what a showing agent is, a marketing agent. All they see is you are promoting a listing. So they see your name, right? They see your beautiful face in the profile photo. They see a listing. And if they got a question, if they want more information, if they click, right? All of that goes to you because you are the one that put it in front of them. So don't worry about, well, they're going to go to the listing agent or this or that. You wouldn't want to work with those people anyways, right? And 95% of people aren't going to do that. All right, Brent, I'm loving it here. Brent says, I send a text, works like a charm. Good afternoon. If I may, post your listing at 617. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And yeah, and you might even be a little bit more, I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it sounds like it's awesome and it's obviously working because you're using it. The only thing I would add in there that I see that's not added is to say, I'll be sure to put listing agent, listing courtesy of Brent Hammonds at XYZ Realty, right? Just so the listing agent knows that you're not trying to kind of sneak around and, crash their listing, right? Listing agents, some of them get a little bit particular. So I just want to make sure they understand I'm not sitting here trying to steal your listing. But to Brent's point, right? If the home has been on the market for more than a week and it doesn't have a bunch of offers coming in, the listing agent, they're getting, they're getting antsy a little bit and they want that thing sold. All right. So yeah, take what Brent just said. That's absolutely awesome. I'm going to put it up there again for anybody. You may want to screenshot that. So if you're on this call right now, you may want to screenshot that and just, put it in your own words, but that's absolutely awesome. Yep. You can call, you can email, you can text. So promote your brand, generate buyer leads. All right. I know now we need buyer leads. We want buyers to buy these listings. That's going to do that. We are going to attract seller leads. So this is going to help us attract seller leads in addition to buyer leads, and it's going to help us win more listings. The cool thing is I wrote this up over a year ago and it tracks exactly with what Fabrice said to almost to the point. This tracks with exactly what Fabrice said. And that interview I did with him was just a week and a half ago. So these are timeless. And if you take what we're going to talk through today, and some of this will be specifically for your listing as a listing agent. Some of this will be for listings that you borrow. I'll make sure that I point that out as we go through the call today. But if you can get up to and have the consistency to do 3 listings a week along the lines of what we're going to talk about today, in addition to your own listings, you're going to have an awesome year. All right. And you're also going to want to make sure that you do expireds. Now I'm going to put our link to our school classroom into the chat. So I want to make sure that you are in our school where our expired classroom sits. And I'm going to show that to you. So I just put in a link. When you're accepted into the school community, make sure it says the Listings to Leads Lab. Click Classroom. And then you're going to see here, we got Open House Marketing Mastery, Pending Sold, Expired, Success Framework, and the expired one right here. This, again, to Fabrice's point, this walks you through exactly how he got 5 expired listings done, or 5 expired listings signed in 2 weeks. All right. And I know he's gotten at least one more last week, probably a couple more. All right. I see a few people have Lynn from Wichita, Kansas. Awesome. Got you in there. You're good to go. All right. Let's get into listings to leads and let's get at it. All right. One more thing about this page right here. Again, listings2leads.com/listings. When you click on any one of these images, just listed, coming soon, it'll open up to that dedicated status. So here, just listed, again, coming soon, just listed, active, open house. Pending and just sold, we're doing another webinar. That's a little bit different because it's more focused on listings. But I've logged into Listings to Leads. I'm on the dashboard. I'm going to go to the listings. I'm going to click listings right here. And one of the first things I really want you to be doing, and one more thing, some of you that have recently signed up are on what we call the new platform. We're rebuilding Listings to Leads from the ground up. We are now putting all the new signups into the new system. All of you, people like Brent and others, you guys are on the current/old system. They're a tiny bit different here and there, but they are more or less the same. So as I go through this today, if you see something that just looks a little bit off, that might be why. And if you have any questions, let me know, or let support, get into the mastermind group. But you should be absolutely fine. And hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be moving everybody over to the new system. All right. So if you're going to borrow a listing, let me just mention this. Because again, you may have a couple of listings. You may not. You should be borrowing so that you can market 3 listings a week that are interesting. And to do that, you may have to go to add listing, either manual, if it's not even in the MLS, but most of them are going to be, go to grab, add in a zip code, add in the MLS ID, uncheck that. If it's not your listing, hit grab. If it's not available, if it's not able to be grabbed automatically, you can request that our team adds the listing for you. So you can even say, hey, and do an ad for me, right? Run an ad for me, right, for 1 week. If it's your listing, you might want to do the e-flyers. So take a look at that. Yeah, FSBO and expired, you're going to do that yourself. Our team won't be adding, they don't add FSBOs or expired, but you'd go to manual, status, FSBO. Yeah, depending on your MLS, depending on your broker, depending on the relationship that you've got with the FSBO homeowner, are they going to pay? Are they going to give you 2.5, or are they going to work with you as a buyer's agent? Yeah, that could be really cool as well. Oh, Mima, how did you signed a FSBO yesterday? Did you use our system for that? If not, I'm telling you, we do a call on FSBOs once a month, and you're going to see here in our expired classroom, FSBO, how to engage, right there. FSBO, our stuff for FSBO, right? We don't have a lot of time today because we have a lot to cover, but our FSBO tools are phenomenal. Yeah, I recognize your name. Yep. Well, congratulations on getting that FSBO signed. That's awesome. All right. So, but yeah, FSBO, you can add that and it gets it's so amazing. Yeah, make sure you check that out later, okay? Because you're gonna love it. I think we got the best FSBO platform in the industry, hands down. All right, so I got a listing. All right, we're gonna do 15 Ambient Way in Folsom. The first thing I want you to do before you do anything is rearrange your photos. I want your first 4 to 5 photos to be the best 4 to 5 photos. So click where it said edit photos and just drag and drop. Just drag and drop so that the best 4 in particular, but even the best 5 are the best 4 to 5 photos of that listing. It's absolutely annoying to have to go through front of the house, front of the house, front of the house, front of the house. Essentially I feel like I'm wasting my time. And a lot of people feel this way, when I want to see what that property looks like. So front of the house, typically kitchen, living area, maybe the backyard, primary bedroom, right? Something like that. But just 4 to 5 photos giving a quick tour of the property. It's going to make your ads look better. The e-flyers look better. It's going to make everything look better. The social media posts will look better, right? No, you can do it with a borrowed listing. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Any questions on that, of course, let our team know. Also under edit is open houses. So if you want to add an open house, you can do that right there. Once you've done that, right, when you click on that green market listing button, let's start back over here. So for people, all right, so I've rearranged my photos. You can add property videos. You can add 3D tours. You can add area videos. I mean, oh my God, why does this keep doing this? So you can add all this kind of stuff to your listing. All right, there we go. All right, so I've got 15 Ambient Way. I'm gonna click the green market listing button. I'm gonna be put into the overview. You'll see a step-by-step guide. That's literally the page that we were just at, listingstoleads.com/listings. And that's gonna walk me through everything. Holy cow. My gosh. I don't know why my computer keeps doing this. And maybe I need to turn it off. I apologize for that, everybody. I know that's a little bit annoying. All right. So step-by-step guide, checklist, live webinars. All right. Facebook ad. The Facebook ads with listings to leads are really some of the best. Name, email, phone number, time frame to buy, do you have a home to sell? What do you need help with the most right now? Right. So those 6 data points you're going to get with every lead. It's going to autofill location. I would leave that alone 9 times out of 10. Radius of 15, again, leave that alone for the most part. We got a lifetime budget of $35. I'm just going to move that to 70. I like to do $10 a day for buyer leads. If it was a seller lead, I would go to $15 a day. So lifetime budget, because the ad's going to run as default for 1 week. And I can change the template if I need to. This could be a video. I could add a video here and just hit create ad. The only thing you should and need to do in my mind is just up the budget from 35 to 70. And you can even we got people doing $200 a week for a listing. Now Fabrice is doing $35 to $45 per ad per week, but it's because he's doing 3 ads a week. So let me show you. In about 2 minutes, this link right here where it says view will be live. It takes Facebook about a minute or 2. So I'm going to click on a previous one. If you just click where it says view, it's going to open up to Facebook. and we can take a quick look at that ad. So the ad's going to come up. There we go. I'm going to click show ad. There's a blue show ad button right there. Just click that. And then scroll down about 2 to 3 posts. There we go. So here's that ad. People click, and there we go. What's your time frame to buy? 3 to 6 months. Do you have a home to sell? Yes. What would be most helpful right now? Right, there's different options here, including price reduced homes, things like that. And now you can see we got name, email, phone number. So when I get that lead notification, it's going to say name, Franklin Pierce, email, Franklin at Listings to Leads, phone number, 415, time frame to buy, 3 to 6 months. Do you have a home to sell? Yes. What would be most helpful right now? New listings and price drops, or whatever it was that they selected. So now in your follow-up, you can refer to that, and you will engage your leads at a much higher level if you refer to those questions. Now, I'm going to show you one more time how to do this ad, because I'm going to show you how to change those questions if you want to. So again, I'm in the ad work area. And you can change the text. You can change, like I said, the image, start and end date, change template, right? Change the image or add a video. Now, if I want to change those questions that display when the ad is first clicked, go to advanced options, click the green, create new form, and then right here, form questions. There are like 20 different questions you can select from. Some are more appropriate for a lender. Oh my God. I'll come back to that in a minute. What's your desired price range? Would you like my free ultimate guide to buying a home? What's your monthly rental or lease payment? Would you like a list of price reduced homes for sale? Have you been pre-approved? See if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. What's changing in your housing needs? Would you like to be notified first when similar listings hit the market? So there's a lot of great questions here that you can go through and add to that lead form. Is your current home your primary residence? What's your biggest goal for your next move? So, and then once you can even rearrange them, click the green create form button. And then now those questions, oh my God, now those questions are going to be what shows instead of the 3 default. So the 3 default questions are great, but again, I just want to show you that you can customize those. Do you check the show headline box? Where's the, when you say show headline, what do you mean by that, Brent? Oh my, wow. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today. This is not good. Brent, I'm sorry. What do you mean by show headline? Where was that at? All right. Let me see under edit. Tell me what you mean before the questions. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know. Let me do another one. So if I go create ad, advanced filters, create new form questions. So what are you asking about? Yeah, I don't get the question. Show greeting. Oh, you mean like the intro right there? No, I don't. Because that's just like whatever, Yeah, you can try it, right? We don't by default. By default, we don't do that. Okay, doke. So Fabrice, he's doing 3 ads a week. If you're only doing 1 ad a week, you really want to try to get to $70 to $100 for your buyer ads. If you're doing 3 ads a week, like what Fabrice is doing, he's just doing $35 to $45. That's it. For the social media post, completely editable. It can go to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google. I would do all 5. All right. I want it on all 5 of these. You can connect your social media accounts if they're not all connected. Again, I can edit the image, I can edit the text, I can do all of that. I can schedule. I can just click post now. All right. When it's posted up to any of these platforms. Now, Instagram is not clickable, but all the other ones are. And people click it and they're going to go to the property website. And this is exactly where they go from the ads and the e-flyers and when they text off a yard sign. So they're going to go to the property website. You see, I got a property video. I've got a 3D tour. I've got my professional photos. I've got an area video. So for those of you doing video, Listings to Leads is probably the best platform for using video. Maps, Google Street View, lead form, when do you plan to buy, we can help. You see, I got another video right here, a client review video. I've got my home value landing page. They can download PDF guides. So when they go to download a guide, do you own a home? Yes or no? Do you need to sell before you buy? Boom. And then they can download the PDF guide. And then we got the footer down here. So the single property websites are automatically created for every listing as soon as that listing hits your account. And they're some of the best in the industry. I think they are the best, right? I just got an email this morning from some vendor, and it was like, use Claude to create a single property website. I'm like, why would you want to do that? Right? Why would you do that? Right? Who's got more time in their day to start messing around with Claude? You'll never build, I don't mean to be boastful or arrogant, you will never build a property website better than what we've got. Right? I just, and certainly, right, the time, involved and all of that, it's like, really? Just ours are amazing. All right. For the seller, there are 2 tools for the seller. Fabrice, he does this a little bit different than what I've always been training on. He literally sends these to the seller every single week, every Monday. So this is for listing agents. Every Monday, he sends this to the seller every single Monday. So click green, send a seller, or add seller info, drop in their email address, drop in the salutation, and hit send. It's going to send you will be CC'd. The seller's going to get it. They're going to assume you sent it to them. What is so great about this is it's going to promote you. It promotes the listing. Again, people click right into the listing, right from the social media post for the seller. There's also an e-flyer, and he does both every single Monday. The e-flyer as well. Right? It's awesome. Look at that. See those four to 5 images. I can't remember. Maybe it looks like it's 5. Yeah. So it's showing the first 5 images in the e-flyer. And that's why I want to make sure I rearrange those photos, because when the seller sphere of influence, when my database, they get the e-flyers, I want them to see the best 5 photos to engage them at a higher level versus just the 5 photos of the front of the house. People click, boom, they go to the property website just like before. So you're going to send both of them to the seller. And after you send it to your seller, call them up. Now, Fabrice does this in conjunction with the weekly update. So he does a weekly update with the sellers every Monday. He schedules a call with them, gets them on the phone, talks through, what showings do we have? What kind of traction are we getting? What marketing are we doing? And as a part of that, he sends us before, and he has them post it and send out that email. Whether you want to do it in conjunction with a call, but yeah, I think that's awesome. Every Monday, just send it to the seller. They want to get the home sold. You're doing social media, you're doing ads, you're doing these other things to get the home sold. And sellers love to be part of the solution, as long as it's easy and it looks great. When you send it to the seller, if you're not doing a call with them already, if you want, once you get your version of the email, that means the seller got it as well. I would wait just a few minutes, right, or whatever is convenient, and then I would call the seller up, and I would say something along the lines of this: "Hey, Brent, Scott here, and hey, we're doing a lot of great marketing for your home. I just did another ad, and we got some other things going on. I sent you 2 emails, one to post on your Facebook page and one to share via your email to people that you know, because you likely know people who know people that would love to move to the area. And in this market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. And the seller is going to love it. They're going to like it. They're going to think it's a great strategy. And they're going to post it to the social media. They're going to share it with people that they know. What you should do is once they post it to their Facebook page, you should go like that post, leave a quick little comment like, looks great. Don't overthink it. Don't get, don't drive yourself crazy. Just comment under the post, looks great. And that way, every time somebody else leaves a comment, you're going to be notified, right? You'll be notified. And then I would like every comment because I want all of their friends to see that I like their comment. And if it's appropriate, comment underneath it. They may say, those photos look amazing. And then you maybe comment, oh, thanks so much. We do professional photos for all of our listings. Or they may say, oh, I thought the market was really bad. Then I might leave a comment underneath that because I want to engage their audience. All right. How do you upload the videos, et cetera, like you did in your listing presentation? Laura, hold that thought. I'll show that a little bit later. Right. Great. I was thinking to show that earlier and I just kind of skipped it. But I will show that a little bit later. Definitely. And if I start to forget to leave the webinar, you can remind me and I'll make sure I do that. But it's under the edit photos and video. Okay. Something else Fabrice is doing for the Nearby Homeowner letter. There's 3 versions. It's all the same thing. Completely editable. But I would prefer that you don't edit it. It's available in JPEG and PDF. And here's the letter. Fabrice does 200 to 300 around his listings. So when he has a listing, he'll do 200 to 300. Best practice is to do 100 to 300 when it's for sale. So that might be just listed, active, open house. And then the same to the same exact homes. So whatever you sent it to while it was for sale, do it again when it's sold. Some people do pending and sold. And that way we are in front of those homeowners around that listing more. But he just got a listing from this again last week. He pinged me, say, hey, I got another listing from the Nearby Homeowner letter. You can send it through our system. You can send it through Mailbox Power, Thanks.io, Zaire Mail, right? There's a lot of mailing services. You can download this in a JPEG. So for those of you with Mailbox Power, they want a JPEG. For those of you, right? So you got both versions, is my point. Now, what I highly, highly, highly recommend is getting a service like MyPlusLeads. And we have an affiliate link. If you are doing our expired and our FSBO stuff, I talk about MyPlusLeads a lot. All right. Now, RedX is fine. Vulcan set, they're all whatever. I'm not selling MyPlusLeads. What I am selling is the fact that to get homeowner data like this, in my mind, is one of the things I would definitely try to do, because I could use MyPlusLeads. I could pull a list of homeowners around the property that are filtered, so likely to move, which is kind of like they pre-do all the filters. Or I could say, I want everyone within a quarter of a mile that's owned the home for 7 years or more, that's got equity at a certain price point and above. So I can use filters to really create a great list. I can say has a phone number not on the DNC. and then I can pull that list, and whether I use listings to leads or I use Mailbox Power or Thanks.io, now I've got a list, all right, that I'm going to mail it to, but I've also got the list to Circle Prospect. Now, I know a lot of people are scared about Circle Prospecting. And before I get into that, let me just mention the letter one more time and the postcards and door hangers. Fabrice does Circle Prospecting. Another one of our clients, Leo, who got 10 listings in 10 weeks, Circle Prospects as well around his listings. Because homeowners, not everyone, but a lot of times homeowners are just a little bit curious about the property that's for sale in their area. And you could even Circle Prospect a home that's not yours, right? Why not? You can Circle Prospect anything. So the letter, I just want to mention here real quickly, why does this letter work so well? We're letting them know that in this case it's for sale, or if it was coming soon, is just listed, we're having an open house. So it'll let them know what's going on. And then it will say is pending, just sold. So that top line, this line right here will change based on the status of the listing. We give them a great domain, right? 15 Ambient Way, the best listing. That's going to the property website. They can scan the QR code. We'll have the text information right there. And then it says, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. I'd like to invite you to get your new home value now. Now, you saw at the single property website, the home value landing page is there also. And then we got your custom domain right here that they can get a home value. So these letters are absolutely phenomenal. And you definitely want to get them to the home. Sometimes people door knock. You can door knock these letters. We also have postcards and door hangers. So you can print and mail right from listings to leads. Now, you can't mail a door hanger, but you'd mail it to yourself. So you can mail this and or get it shipped to you right from within listings to leads. Again, you can download them and use another service, but these are phenomenal as well. Let me show you the postcard, and the door hanger works the same way. And it's very similar to the letter. So here's the front of that postcard. So for sale, coming soon, just listed, open house, pending, just sold, right along the top. And then it's all your colors, your branding. It says visit 15ambientway.thebestlisting.com. It's got the QR code. It's got the text code right there. So it's just very simple, elegant, sophisticated. It makes you look amazing. And on the back of the postcard, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. So again, that will change if it was pending or sold. So if it was sold, it would say, now that this home is sold, your home value has been affected. But while it is for sale, it says, when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. And they can even text to get their home value. Now, when people use the text here, this is going to get their phone number, their home address, their name and their email. And then you will have to add their home. The easiest thing to do is just if you get a lead from the text, just add them as a lead right here and let the system send it to them automatically. Because every lead that comes in through the home value landing page, they get an updated home value estimate the first week of every month. So not only would they get their home value right now, but the first week of every month going forward, they're going to get an updated home value. All right, now here's what I'm getting to also. Why I really like the idea of having a service like My Plus Leads, Red-X, Vulcan 7, and so on, is because I can pull that list, I can mail them, and then I can also call them. And don't be scared. Don't be scared of calling people. Now, if I was calling people with really not much to say, well, yeah, okay. I can get why you're a little hesitant. But when there is a listing around them that is for sale, maybe it's an open house and I want to Circle Prospect to invite all the people to the open house. How nice would that be? And then I use the nearby homeowner letter as the invitation to the open house. Maybe it's coming soon, just listed, active, whatever. But people are just a little bit curious. And sometimes people would love to talk to the listing agent. My goal is to not worry about how many people don't want to talk to me. My goal is to find, if I can find a couple of people every day to have a conversation with, your business is going to just change dramatically. And so I love the idea of using either the nearby homeowner letter, postcard, or door hanger. And then after they should receive it, then I'm going to call them up. And we got a phenomenal script right here, right? Hey, Brent, Scott here at XYZ Realty. Want to let you know that 15 Ambient Way is for sale. I believe it's just around the corner from you. I sent a letter with all the information and a link to the property website. And I just wanted to call and make sure that you got that. Please let me know if you'd like a little bit more information. And then right here, when this home sells, it will affect the value of your home and others in the area. And because I'm using My Plus Leads, I've got their email, I've got their phone number. And so I'm going to end it if I get a voicemail or if I'm talking to them, the whole, in addition to just having a good conversation with them, would scott@listingsoleads.com be the best email to send your updated home value estimate to, right? Or, if you're like some agents, you might even say, I'm going to send it to scott@listingsoleads.com. Would that be the best email, or is there another email you prefer I send it to? So it's kind of the it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. You know what I mean? Right. Why not just let them know you're going to send it to them? So that's a great phone call. Leo, again, I think I mentioned this already. He does a little bit over a listing a week using Listings to Leads, both expired and regular listing marketing. He does 40 phone calls a day. He does 200 a week. Fabrice, who got 16 listings in 2 weeks, he does, I want to say, he does 20 expireds a day, and then he calls the database, and he also circle prospects. So these guys, is it cold calling? Yes, but is cold calling strategically with a purpose? So with that, the next thing Fabrice is doing is he is sending the e-flyer to his database. This is not the MLS listing update. This is not your IDX listing update. All right. Those never look great, and they link to, the IDX at your website is not that compelling. All right. Sending someone a link to Zillow, sending someone a link to the whatever, none of that is compelling. None of these, constant contact. I get e-flyers from so many agents, and they're all subpar. All right. Fabrice is copying this e-flyer. He just drops it into Go High Level. He does it 3 times a week. And it's awesome because when people click, you know the deal. They go to the property website. They click the address. They go to the property website. None of that going to Google Maps. Then it says when this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. They click there, then get a home value. And then in the signature, right, this is customizable. But for most people, if you got your client reviews coming in from Listings to Leads, it'll say click for my reviews. And it goes to your Listings to Leads client review website. So you want to make sure, excuse me, let's go back to that again. Green market listing, e-flyer for your database. I was getting excited because it hadn't blown up in me. I've had to blow my screen blow up a few times here and there. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it's doing it like it is today, so I apologize again. But again, the e-flyer right here. Now you can send it through Listings to Leads. So if you got a bunch of leads inside of L2L, click send now and send it. You can edit the email. I can send a test email. I can copy the code. And or what Fabrice does, he just copies the email from here. Just copy the whole thing. copy it, go to your CRM, right? Wherever you're going to send the email from. So Follow Up Boss, Bold Trail, Sierra Interactive, Lofty, right? For sale in Folsom. I'd normally give it a little bit of a better subject line, but what I'm trying to show you here is just, I want you to see how easy this is to just literally paste in. Look at that. Everything is going to work. Everything looks beautiful. And this is way, way better than any other e-flyer that you're using. So get that e-flyer to your database. And again, Fabrice is doing this 3 times a week. So those 3 listings, right? 1 or 2 of them may be his, 1 or 2 or 3 may all be borrowed. But again, to Brent's point as well, he's being strategic in looking at and selecting listings, getting permission from the listing agent, and getting them out to his database. And then for the love of Pete, I'm not sure why that name is part of that old saying, but call your database. Just call your database. You don't need to call everybody. I can send the email to everybody, but then I'm going to call maybe, 5, 10, 15, 20 people, and just really quick. All right. Scott Pierce here at XYZ Realty. Just want to let you know 50 Ambient Way for Folsom just listed for sale, is for sale, is having an open house this weekend, right? Whatever it is. And then I sent an email with the link to the property website with all the photos. Just want to make sure you got that. So it's, kind of a check-in phone call. And then with the way the market is now, I just want to make sure you got this. Please let me know if you'd like any more information. And then check this out. If they own a home near the property, if they own a home not near the property, or if they're a buyer lead, we got 3 different endings depending on the person and their relationship with the property, living nearby or not living nearby, or if they're a buyer lead or a homeowner. So if they own a home not near the property, right? The call to action part of this script is, I don't know if you're interested, but I do free CMAs for all of my clients and VIPs. Now, if you want to say equity analysis or, whatever you want to call it, awesome. I know you're not looking to sell right now, but I would love to do a report for you so that you can keep tabs on what your property is doing month to month. And it's great for me because it lets me keep tabs on what properties are doing in the area. If you're interested, I will send this to, and again, because I got, they're in my database, I know their email. What should I send that to? Scott@listingsoleads.com. Right. So again, I'm trying to check in. I want to keep, branding. I want to keep my name in front of them. I may have never spoke to them before. They may not know, who the hell is this guy? And so it gives me a great, easy way to just check in with somebody, whether I know them or not, in a way that's going to add value. And that way, imagine they're a lead I generated 6 months ago. I've never spoken to them, but I send out the e-flyer and then I do a quick phone call. And then they're, a lot of times they're going to go, oh, right. Yeah. Laura Moore, right. I see her emails every so often. Once in a blue moon, she calls and checks in. And, it just keeps your name in their head. All right. Another thing that Fabrice is doing, Leo does this as well. All right. These are great agents. Even in this market, they are listing, they're selling, they're making money. He uses our short form video script. He does this 3 times a week. And in the interview I did with him, in the interview video, when you watch it, he literally says, he goes, I love these scripts because I don't want to think or have time to think about, a great script. So he goes, all I do is I click the green send button. Your address will autofill, and he just sends it to himself. He grabs his phone, opens it up, copies the script into the teleprompter app, and he just reads the script, right? It's not that hard. Go in front of the property and record it. uh, green screen the property behind you, or just be in your car or be at your office and do it. So there's a lot of ways to do, and this is for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. So this, and you could even record a landscape if you want, but the main point of this are the vertical videos. Okay, so get that done. This is, we're not doing open houses today. We got like, I'll be done in like 5 or 6 minutes. I might go just a few minutes over. I apologize. If you take a look at our open house classroom or our open house training, right? We discuss this in a lot more detail, but we got the online, we got the print, and then a QR code, completely customizable. Now, one big thing, and I did not really talk about it yet, but it's the yard sign. Listings to Leads helps you make sure your yard sign is generating listings and buyers for you. So there's 3 things I want you to do. And these are all investments because you're going to be able to use them over and over and over and over again. Go to your association today and grab, for your listings, grab your status writers, right? Just listed, active, or for sale. So you got just listed, for sale, open house, and I would do pending. If you can do just sold, but most people can't. But I've even got open house, I've got pending, I've got all of them. I got every status I can use because I want this on top of that yard sign to grab the attention of the homeowners walking by. And I might use different colors. So notice I got white with red text. I got red with white text. I got black with white text. And I do that because I want it to be just a little bit different when I change it. I don't want it to blend in too much. If they're all the same white, like white background with red text or red with white text for every single one of them, people may not notice when it changes. But if I change the color a little bit and they're walking by, they're driving by, they're, power walking, they're walking the dog, whatever it is, and they see my yard sign and then they see just listed, for sale. And then a couple of weeks later, they see pending. All right. The next thing I want you to do is while you're at your association is, and you can use these obviously for anything. If you have an open house, you're going to want to use these. You may want to print some up and leave them at the property, is the listing flyer. And notice that listing flyer, it captures leads. You don't need Canva. I don't need Canva for this. It's got all my branding. It's got all my colors. It's got the QR code. It's got the text code, and it's got a little bit of information for the seller. So what I want you to do is I want you, when you're buying those status writers, I want you to buy an acrylic flyer holder. I know it sounds kind of goofy, but I promise you it works. And I can move these around from listing to listing to listing. And the last thing for the yard sign, one more thing, are sign writers. And you can see I got one right here. And I want this below the arm. No one calls your 10-digit number. Nobody ever calls a 10-digit number. If you got the flyers and you got something like this on the yard sign, people will use it. And I can move that writer from, again, just like the status writer, I can move the text writer from listing to listing to listing. Once I've got a text code, like in this case, 10006, it stays in my account. So when this listing is no more, this will get reassigned, or I can manually reassign it one way or the other to a new listing. And so if you just click download, in fact, I like the one without the QR code, but regardless. And then I can customize all the colors and everything here. But if you need a way to print it, if you don't have one locally, right here, we recommend Dirt Cheap Signs. And when you're here, it doesn't matter. Just click the first one. And then what I do is I click it, I delete it, and then I upload file, upload your own image. Okay. I have the legal rights, browse. I'm just going to upload literally what I just downloaded. And right there, upload. Next, full color. There's other services, you know, whatever. But this is a good one. I'm just gonna stretch it and hit stretch. I don't know why that. Just make it look a little bit better. All right. Now, one thing I do is you may have noticed mine. There's no white anywhere. See how it's called full bleed. So full bleed means the color goes right to the edge. There's no white. And so what I do is I just chat with the live agent and I just say, hey, I'm making an order for a yard sign and can you make sure it's full bleed? FULL, full bleed. If you're not familiar with that term, it sounds a little odd, but regardless, that's what it's called. You got different sizes. I don't know your yard sign, what you need, but the different sizes are right here. Save and checkout. Yes, I approve. And then here I do double-sided. I did the one you just saw was aluminum. It's just going to last a lot longer. I've actually ordered the corrugated plastic, and it's totally cool, but the aluminum will last a lot longer. Reflective none, grommets, I said add, and then add to cart. Now, you know, $24, it's going to be about $20 to ship. That's the only thing that kind of kills me, but it's an investment. And I'm going to be able to use this thing for a few years, at least 1 year before it maybe gets faded or something. So in my mind, same as having a service like My Plus Leads or RedX, Vulcan 7 is an investment that I highly recommend because you're going to be able to leverage it for expireds, for FSBOs, for circle prospecting, and get a lot more bang for your buck and generate a lot more listings. This right here is also an investment that I really just recommend. All right. I really recommend it because again, once I've got this, I can move it from listing to listing to listing. Super easy. You know, we do the YouTube listing videos. The traffic report is right here. So kind of towards the bottom of the list. There is a dedicated QR code. If you're into Craigslist, you can do Craigslist. If you have if you want to create a custom page at your website or a blog, we got embed code. So these can make a great custom page at your website. They can make a great blog post. So you'll see different versions of it. Actually, I like number 8. I believe they're all responsive. Yeah. So no matter how wide or narrow your blog or website is, it'll fulfill, if that made sense. All right. All right. Any questions on this? Most of what we did, borrowed listings, your listings. I'm going to show you next how to add video and 3D tours. And so just click edit. So when you have a listing, click edit. And then video photos. So I can upload, and you can also I highly recommend upload your professional photos. Video and 3D tour. I can add a YouTube video. I believe Vimeo works as well. I've even seen other links work. For the 3D tour, get the embed code from your photographer. If you don't have it or know what it is, just ask your photographer for the embed code. They'll give it to you and just drop it in here. If you got a video file, you can upload it. You're always going to want to put autoplay and muted. If you just do autoplay without that, notice some browsers may block autoplay. So it's not going to play. So I highly recommend, if it's a video with you talking, make sure you got captions. But most videos are going to be along the lines of this right here. Right? Is there music? Yeah, there's music. Do I really need that music playing? Not really. The music's not going to add anything to this. I know we think it does, but people are not, they're not here to listen to the music. All of a sudden it starts blasting on their phone and they're like scrambling to turn it off. So it's actually, and that's why all these browsers, it can autoplay, but they're only going to autoplay it if it's muted. It's just a browser thing. It's not ours. It's not something we made up. There is a right here I can click, and this one may, oh, maybe this one doesn't have any music, but if it had music, it would be playing now. Right. And again, you saw I got the 3D tour. I scroll down. Right. Here's my 3D tour. And right. So I can kind of pop. I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So let me see. So Laura, can you pull up your listing presentation? You had a lot of information and videos. Did you just fill in those areas? Laura, are you talking about the introduction? Listing presentation print. Are you talking about this right here? Oh. All right, hold on. I know what you're talking about. So, for example, let me go back to listings here. And I think I know what you're talking about, Laura. Give me 1 second. Let's just confirm real quick. So here, so for this is for everybody. This is important. So I pay attention if you got the time. Stick with me for just a few minutes. What Laura's talking about is when I've got a listing presentation and I click flip, click the green button, I click flip book. And this is for expired, FSBO, canceled, right? We can create these presentations so we can, again, there's no better expired engagement and listing platform than there is with listings to leads. To be able to create these for a listing presentation, for an expired, for a FSBO, for a canceled, you can even tweak them for probate. And so, Laura, are you talking about, so for example, when I go here and I click on this, and if you scroll down, are you talking about this right here? And I show an example of like and then I do 3D tour. And then they can kind of play around in my 3D tour. So Laura, let me know, is this what you're referring to? Yes, no, maybe? Yes. Okay, awesome. All right. When you're on the listings dashboard, so listings. Oh my gosh. Listings. I'm going to have to restart my computer after this, and hopefully that fixes that blowing up thing. All right, so Laura, what you do is go to settings, hold on, more tools? No, settings. So click on settings, sections. So right here, sections. So what we're doing is we're adding a section to the property website. And it's really, really powerful. And let me show you what I mean. Add section right here. Before I show you this, check this out. Select listings. Associate this section by status. This is the key right here. So what I can do is I can say, hey, anytime I've got for example, a sold listing, put my video that is talking for how I get property sold, right? Now that might be something you want for all listings. What I did for that one is I said, hey, for every listing, and that's a little bit far down here. I said for every presentation, right? So for sale by owner, listing presentation, and expired. Oh, there we go. Expired and canceled. So those are all the statuses that we create presentations for. And I said, we do video professional videos for your home. And then I just, I put in the text. I actually added you can add the embed code. In the old system, we've got a insert YouTube video. In the new system, we don't have that button, but you can just put the embed code. You can also ask support for help if needed. And then that way, every time I add a listing, in this case, that is expired, FSBO, canceled, or listing presentation, that status will be added automatically. Right. And so that what's really cool about that is now, and Laura, you can take what I wrote and you can copy word for word. That's fine with me. So now when I add, like, for example, right, listing presentation, all of these listing presentation, expired, canceled, FSBO, all of them, right? Now, this won't be on just listed or pending, like marketable statuses, but for all of these, now, whether it's the PDF, the flip book, right, that link is going to, right, when they click for the property website or they scan the QR code, they send a text, right? Here's my property website that they're going to see. And I'll show you one more little trick. They go through this, they can see what my property websites look like, see all my client reviews, my other listings, and professional videos for your home. 3D tours. I'll put this link in. So Laura, if you want to grab this, anybody wants to grab, like I said, just copy and paste it. Just copy and paste what I have in there if you want. But let me show you a little trick. So remember sections. Earlier we went to settings, sections, and we added the section, right? But if I want to bring it up higher in the single property website, click edit, sections here. And now professional videos for your home. To be honest, I would like to just drag that up. 3D tour for your home. I'm going to drag that up. And now when they scan the QR code, click the link from my presentation. Now check this out. Professional videos for your home is right near the top. 3D tours for your home is right near the top. Right? Is that cool? Is that pretty awesome? And there could be you could put a video about, you could do maybe you got a video about your marketing plan or how you sell homes. You could add that video could literally be playing here. So there's a lot of really, really cool things that you can do with this. All right. Laura says, love it. Thanks. Yep. Yeah. It's, I don't train on it a lot just because it's a little bit advanced. And I know some people get really confused and then they get overwhelmed. And the next thing you know, they just kind of blank out. So I don't train on it a lot. But of course, when you got a question and we're doing a webinar together, I love showing it because it is so powerful. And I even got my video down here. Right, I even got this video. Now, it might seem a little bit like overkill to have this video playing, but it just reinforces even more. And if I wanted to bring that video up, right, back in here, right, again, edit, sections, and this video is in your Listings to Leads account. And now when I refresh this and I go back up to the top, right, again, so there's the top, and I scroll down, professional videos, 3D tour, and now there's that video right there. And they can see, oh, wow, right? What a awesome video. And this video right here, let me show you before we leave each other, just real quickly in your media library. In your media library, it'll be right here. It's the first 3 videos. They're going to pop. There we go. There's in fact, I was talking to someone, who was it, yesterday or day before, They're like, yeah, they're like, I got these videos on YouTube, I got them on my website, I got them on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Um, you can people play these at an open house. You can download them. So you can download it, put it up on YouTube. You can download the vertical version, pin it to Instagram, pin it to uh, uh, TikTok. That would be a pinned post all day long. Some people just play it right from here at an open house. Play this 5 minutes long, and homeowners love it. Sometimes buyers will kind of check it out, but when people are watching this video at an open house, it's great to say, hey, yeah, that's my 100% home marketing plan that we've got to get homes sold. Do you own a home in the area? They're like, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. If you like, uh, I can give you I can customize my 100% home marketing plan for your home. Would you be interested in giving me a copy? Send it via email or text, right? Who is going to say yes to that? Anybody even remotely thinking about selling their home in the next year would say yes to that. And so using this video right here at an open house, and so and think about this. This all flows together. That's why we want to use the nearby homeowner letter to invite the neighbors to the open house. That's why we want to circle prospect the neighbors, because the more neighbors, the more people in the area I can get to the open house, the better. Because with the way we train on how to do an open house, you're going to get more listings. You're going to engage more of those homeowners. Even and is same is true for the potential buyers who own a home, right? They live in the area, they're upgrading, they're downgrading, they're downsizing, they're this or that, whatever it is, right? They own a home, they're looking to buy also. What better way to engage those people as well than to have this video playing? Audio is being wonky. Yeah, it's funny. Some people love that music. I don't know if you're talking about the music or the audio. It's probably just because this is playing, and whether it's the music playing or the video playing, the audio might get a little bit wonky. I apologize, but I would play either if I was playing this at an open house, either keep that music super super low because I don't want to be competing against the music playing. So awesome. All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for hanging out. We went pretty long today. I'd love to have you click on that link I put into the chat. Leave a quick little feedback. Your feedback is super important. I want to make sure that you are learning something applicable to help grow your business. We walked through today how to market your listings, the power of being strategic and actually marketing 3 listings a week at a really nice pace. All of that, what Fabrice does every week, takes him 10 minutes per listing. Takes him to, he adds a listing to his account, add, post, eFlyer to his database, records the video. The video might be a separate thing that he does, right? He may go to the property when he, whatever it is. For his listings, he's doing the tools for the seller every Monday. He's doing the nearby homeowner letter around the listing to 200 to 300 homes. And he's just absolutely crushing it. And then he's also doing the expireds. All right. Laura, thank you. Brent, awesome. Anna, thank you. Everybody, I appreciate your Catherine, awesome. I appreciate it. Please get yourself into the mastermind group. All right. Get yourself into the Facebook mastermind group. This will be the last thing I post here today. And if you ever need any help, if you're ever stuck with something, just get into the mastermind group and ask. Don't be embarrassed. I promise you, I hear from people all the time. I'm too embarrassed to ask this stupid question. I promise you, 10 other people have the same question. You're not the only one. And people would absolutely actually appreciate you asking because then it unlocks for them something that they were stuck with. But they were too nervous. And it does nobody any good. It does nobody any good to have you stuck and not asking for help because you're too embarrassed. All right. I'm in already. Perfect, Brent. Awesome. All right, everybody, get out of here. Get to work, take action, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.